Greetings from Revealing the Hidden. Today we are going to discuss how the the marriage can be healed in every day, or how we can forget and forgive our spouse in the marriage so that we can have a healthy married life. Yes, Bonnie, coming to the topic.
Yes, I think last time we touched about how marriage is important, and before getting into marriage, we need to keep the past behind. And today we'll be talking about how that same marriage, which when you're entering into marriage, you keep the past behind. It would obviously be possible where certain past issues or certain past traumatic experiences or addictions or behaviors will start surfacing maybe a year, two, or after a certain time within marriage. And that is exactly where when we start sharing with our spouse a little bit and give them an understanding of what happened, why it happened, and why it's affecting me, will help that person to also have a better understanding of what you went through. Now, not everybody may have a good understanding of what needs to be done, but if by sharing those certain scars have a solution and have a balm to be applied, it is always easy. In marriage, what happens is when the person is addicted, leaves the addiction, gets married, and then they hit a roadblock, maybe financially or whatever, and then the person goes back into the same addiction as before, then the spouse will need to help the person to come back. It's like that. It's like in marriage, one person goes into the pit of the past, and the other person is having to help and come out, because earlier it was just one person. So if he's gone into the pit, into the dark deep pit, he needs to figure his way out. But in marriage, what may seem to be like a problem or a weakness is now becoming powerful, because your spouse will now become a warrior for you and help you come back up. And that is important in marriage, that the same past which was a problem now becomes something of a prayer, because when one spouse prays for the other one to help and to remedy and healing and those kind of things, there is that power that is seen, that is visible. And that is why marriage is so beautiful, because it's not just about one person, it's not about the other person also, it's about the triangle. I always say this because earlier the person was alone in a way, but now in marriage the person is joined together with the maker. And when fighting the past, it's not just that person alone, it's three people now.
Yes.
And it's not just the power of one, the power of three. Okay. And it's very easy in the sense, I think dealing with the past is simple. One point I think is prayer, not just of yourself but also of your spouse. The second, I think, is when you start to progress, your past will start to come up. I mean, when you start growing, if addiction was a problem, it will keep coming up. I mean, you may end up going to parties, and there'll be a free drink here and there. And I always say this, it just takes one drink to slip, or in fact it just takes a sip to slip. And that is exactly where you carry your spouse along to parties, because your spouse will keep a check on you. Your spouse will draw that borderline for you and tell you, hey, I want you to progress, not go back into your past. It may just be one sip, it may just be one glass, it may just be one night, but that is enough to slip your progress from what you were climbing to now what you're crashing. So I think that marriage is going to be a blessing, where both the spouse start to be accountable to each other, to each other's behaviors, to each other's past, because they are not there just to protect each other from the past, but also to be focused about their future. So when in marriage, the way to deal with the past is both of them need to be focused on where they are headed. And in marriage, it's not just one person trying to lead the family, it's both of them headed in that one direction. Yes, obviously one is in the driving seat, but everybody else is looking ahead. Okay, it's like if you're riding the bike, and if you are riding ahead, and if your spouse is turned the other way around, you all both will have different perspectives.
Right.
But if you all both are seated in the same direction, then what happens is, I think the going goes easier because one person can call out, hey, there's a road bump, hey, there is the stop signal. So I think when both of them are looking at the same direction, past becomes just a matter of the rear view mirror.
Nicely said, Bonnie. To add on, I was just thinking about my marriage. See, mistake is a part and parcel of everyone's life, and it's like I have all the things, but George doesn't like and Jones may have things that I don't like. More than a limit, I cannot change my personality. The thing is something to do with maturity of a life. Initially, it may be annoying. Later, it become a part and parcel of life. As we were telling that, even though we were born and brought up in different culture, when you're staying together as husband and wife, you are making a new culture.
True.
So when the mistakes that happen, once, twice, thrice, you can help them by correcting. Fourth time, you understand this guy is not going to change. Better I need to get adjusted with this particular thing. I'm not talking about addictions or any other thing that harm the family. I'm talking about simple things that spouse cannot adjust. So initial CV, once we discuss the stages of marriage, in that the last stage of marriage is where you accept the spouse with his inabilities.
Yes.
Not by critiquing or not by insulting. It's I'm accepting him like
As he
that.
is.
So for example, my Jones is a very bad vision. So now we drive together. Whatever inability my Jones has on vision, I'm his eyes.
Yes.
So I would say this is the way marriage grows.
True.
Now Ken Keith also says where there is a hump. So then all three will loudly
Yes.
say it's hump, and it become a joyful moment than prioritizing his issues with the vision.
yeah.
Initially it may be hurting him, but now I don't think it's hurting him. Bombs will jump and go. If we did not realize, that's the way the family grew up. So
True.
this way we can manage our past. Second thing, something I'm not able to achieve in my husband, because everything I cannot tell my spouse because it is irritating if he is not able to manage him. What I do is I go to my prayer room and pray for it.
Yes.
If I speak, it become an ego issue, or it's an insult, or it ends up in a fight, whereas it is unwanted thing.
True.
After a period of time, Bonnie, the fight will disappear in the house because I know who Jones is, Jones know who I am, so there is no need of fight.
Correct.
This is what she is, this is what he is,
True.
this is the way our family works. When a children knows whom to approach what, because they tune to the family scenario.
True.
So if there are things what I'm not able to express it out by words, I go to my knees and I start pray for it, and I witness the result. And I will say, God is with me. So this is the way
Yes.
we manage a tough scenario, and we forgive and forget. And once you forgive and forget, when a third party is coming in between us and showing the mistake of a spouse, we can get up and say, he's my husband, I can manage it, or I can help that inability or shortcoming can be managed by me.
Very true.
So this way the family can be grown up. And I always discourage people who tell bad thing about the spouse to anyone. Yes, initial days we will tend to tell because we don't know how to deal with it.
Correct.
We may tell to a mother, father, or anyone, whereas that's a bad habit though, because when my parents are knowing, they will support me. But if there is no one to support, I need to stay with him. So by the end of the day, we need to go together. But once you started realizing that this is the permanent life you have, I would just stop telling bad about your
True.
spouse. What it is between you both. We only should know what is the shortcomings, and there is no need to express it and make your life a funny picture for others.
Everybody.
They will laugh at us and they will speak bad about us.
Very
So
true.
I would say this way we all can grow in our life and forgive and forget the spouse. I mean, forget the past. If infidelity, extramarital affair is cropped in, as you said once, I never forget, I told this line to everyone, infidelity is at the door of every couple. It is the it is the way I open the door for infidelity. So it is at the door at any time and every time in front of every couple.
Correct.
And if you know that the spouse has come like that, actually there is nothing to worry. Actually, the thing is, you can tell your spouse, and tell the importance of not having that in our family, because the culture of family is going to be disturbed.
True.
And as I said, one person is going into gutter, before you were alone going, now you are taking the entire family and going, and you're distorting the peace of the house.
True.
So again, I would take a step of prayer, whereas if you are in love with someone, I cannot stop it because you are blinded over there.
True.
And whatever I speak, it's literally irritating you. Nothing is going to help you. So I would say here prayer works, whereas
Wonders.
whereas it will be cut and you will get back, because this is the covenant. This is marriage, which is covenant, where the third party, that is God Almighty, is there in support with you.
True.
This way you are able to.
The triangle.
Yes. This way you are able to come up and pass. I think we have spoken ample amount of information, and this is one of the issues what every couple face every now and then. And these are the small tips what I use, and he is going to be used in his coming days. Till we meet with another interesting topic next week. Stay safe and stay happy. Thank you.